Let's talk about hard work because, quite frankly, I've talked to a lot of athletes, a lot of entrepreneurs, not just athletes, and they just don't have a conception of what hard work really is. Now, hard work means it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to work 24/7. What it means is you're probably going to plan 6 hours a day. If it's, let's say it's basketball, you're going to take 6 hours a day and you're going to use those 6 hours with full focus. Okay. Like you're going to knock out hour or two in the morning and then like an hour at lunch maybe, and then maybe 2 hours after you're out of work or school, and then an hour at night where you're working on like film or something, right? So you're breaking up your day into chunks of work. And the minimum, I would say, if you're a serious player, is you're looking at 3 hours. You got to put time in. You guys just have no idea. I had somebody write me a few years ago and say, I'm shooting 150 shots a day. And my response back was like, I hope you're telling me that's your warm up, 150 shots. That's not going to do it. I saw some skills coaches saying, we don't want to break our guys down. Don't want them doing too much work. And then I looked at who these guys worked with, and then I looked at their clutch stats, and these guys were horrible in crunch time. Why is that? Because one of the reasons you're putting in so much time and effort in getting tired in shooting, it's like preparing your body for being tired in the game. Being tired during the season. You're going to be tired during the season. You got team practice, you have games, you're going to be doing drills on your own. So you're going to be tired. You need to know how to perform when you're tired. The other thing about that is it's psychological. Pushing yourself in every workout. If you don't follow like TikTok or Instagram, they're also showing up here, but every day I remind you, do the things that are hard to do and the power will come. The hard thing is when you're dead ass tired to shoot another 100 or 200 shots. That's what hard work is. Your legs don't feel good every day. Your legs feel heavy. They might feel a little tired. And I know some skills coaches and trainers, it's like they want you peak physical condition every single day. Understandable, that's their job. But if you're an athlete, you need to know what it feels like to be tired and still be able to perform. That's what it means to work hard, to be tired and still do it. Now, I found 6 days a week and 1 day of rest, people had to force me to rest. And then I realized hard work also means taking a rest day. That's hard. That was the hardest thing for me to do. So your rest days are even like a way for you to try to get better because you let your body recover. But you're kind of going all out 6 days a week, guys. It's not pretty. It's fun. It is fun. I enjoyed it because you know why it's fun? It's like it sucks to wake up at 5 or 6 a.m. and go work out. You're tired. You don't want to do it. You got to force yourself out of bed. Once you do it, it's fun. You get into it. But you know why else it's fun? Because your competition probably isn't doing it. It's like you feel like you're getting ahead of them. This gives you confidence. So there's a psychological aspect to pushing yourself this much. So I've made another video a few weeks ago. You're gonna want to get like at least 2 hours of shooting up with ball handling, right? You're gonna want to get an hour of conditioning, weightlifting, something like that. You're gonna have an hour and a half. You want to study film, right? You're gonna have 30 minutes or so of mental training, and you should be mental training throughout the day. And then you're also gonna have pickup games or practice. So you're looking at 5-6 hours. It's still a part-time job. It's still 36 hours a week, 6 days a week. It's still a part-time job to be great. Now, when you're actually working out, you have to study genius. You can't just wing it. You need to make sure you're working on the right things and doing it at the right intensity. The 10,000 hour rule, I'm going to keep saying this because people think you just spend 10,000 hours out there on the court and like magically you become a master of something. Keep this in mind for all of your life. It's 10,000 hours doing the right thing, measuring it. That's why you want to keep your stats. You got to have a pen and paper. I made 20 out of 25 threes. I made 15 out of 25 threes. And track this, put it in a spreadsheet. It takes work. You got to work on this. And then you also need to have an expert looking at you. So you want expert guidance. That's what the 10,000 hours is. It was deliberate practice, measuring it, and having an expert correcting you. Now, hopefully you have a good coach, but there's so many tutorials online. There's so many coaches online. You can find your digital version of that. If you look at any great athlete, like truly great athlete, they got a physical coach, they got a skill coach, they have a diet coach, and the truly great have some sort of mental training or mental coach, especially like when you study golfers. The great golfers all have personal psychologists. The reason I started Basketball Brain and Golf Mind, and I made a boxing and MMA program, the reason I started these is I wanted to create the next best thing to having a personal psychologist. That's why I created Basketball Brain. That's why I created Golf Mind. That's why I created a slew of other products. The next best thing to a personal psychologist. The whole point is you got to build your team. You got to build your routines. They have to make sense. You got to make sure when you're doing this stuff, you're going game speed. Now, not everything's game speed. You're shooting some form shots. You're getting loose. It's okay to have, 50 or so, maybe 100 shots where you're just kind of getting loose and shooting around. That's okay. But like the majority of your shots, I'd say 75% of your shots need to be at game speed. You need to visualize like you're in the game. This is hard work. And that's why when you look around, you'll listen to this. Most of you, I'm just being honest, I've done this for so many years. Most of you will listen to this, you'll get excited. Maybe you do it one day and then you go, God, this is a lot of work. And then you fade away. So here's the good thing. It brings a saying to mind. It's never crowded along the extra mile. The first mile, when you start running a race, right? Very crowded. Watch a race. If the race keeps going, people drop out. They're dropping out all the time. It's too much work. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of focus. It means having control of your feelings. And then you got these skills coaches and other coaches telling guys, hey, go easy. 30 minutes, 45 minutes a day. That's enough. No, it's not. Not if you want to perform in crunch time. Not enough. Not enough. So I've yet to meet a truly, truly great clutch player who just doesn't put in tons of reps, even when they're tired. I'm not saying you run yourself into the ground, but I'm also not saying you're always in like your top form. You're going to be tired, and that's okay. That's healthy. That's what it means to work hard. And it's not just about basketball. It's about life in general. If you really want to be good at something, you kind of got to run yourself just a little bit into the ground, okay? Not completely. You don't want to crash and burn. You don't want to burn out. But it's way more work than you think. It's way more work than you think. But if you're a killer, if you have the killer instinct, you want it. You desire it. You're desiring it. Is like, it's just part of you. I want this. I want the competition. And it's also partly out of fear. Like the fear of being humiliated. Someone getting the better of you. And it should drive you nuts. It should drive you fucking nuts, quite frankly. That should motivate you. Your passion for the game should motivate you. You should want 5 hours, 6 hours. Somebody should have to say, hey, 6 is enough. Now, if there's somebody in your life saying, hey, you put 6 hours in, go rest, listen to them. There's a point where you go too far. Absolutely. Absolutely, you can go too far. I've run myself into the ground many times. Not good. You got to be smart too. But smart isn't like 2 hours a day. That's lazy. That's kidding yourself. Smart is, you're looking at 6 hours total, 5, 6 hours. When you count in mental training, when you count in doing skills training, your practice or pickup games, and then studying some film. If you're a serious athlete, this is what you do. How many hours do you think Steph is putting in, and Jordan was putting in, and Kobe was putting in, and they're putting in 5, 6 hours a day, every day, and probably resting one day a week. And then maybe at the end of the season, they take a week or two off. If they lose, they might be right back in the gym the next day. If they win, they might be right back in the gym the next day. It's weird when you get good at something. There's two things that happen when you get good at something. Two types of people. Some people like have success and they're like, that's it. I've got success. Nobody can ever take that away from me. I'm good. And they coast. There are other people who get success and they love it so much. It's like they almost want to do more work because they don't want to lose it. They don't want to lose it. So the whole point is, I'm off on a tangent. But I'm so passionate about this. The whole point is, it's way more work than you think. Way more work. It should be so much work that people around you go, you're obsessed. What's wrong with you? Take a break. You're doing too much. When people start saying that, you're probably on the right path. Now, again, you can go too far with this. Too far. Like 8 hours, 9 hours. That's insanity. It's diminishing returns. You're not getting much out of it. But if you start doing 5, 6 hours, people who get it, rare species, what I call them, they'll go, hi, I understand this. They'll get you. The right people will get you. There'll always be people like, you're so boring. This is all you do. That's all you do. All you do is play basketball. All you do is study, right? All you do is work. Well, no, not really. But I'm supremely focused for 6 hours a day on something. And then, if it's not a physical thing like work, you can do 8, 10 hours. Like for my business, I can do 8, 10 hours, no sweat. No sweat at all. It's not like a physical thing. But even there, like 8, 10 hours, I have to wrap it up some days. I mean, I'll have these periods of intense focus where I go like 14 hours or something. But generally speaking, 8, 10 hours is enough with the right focus and the right schedule. Anyways, I keep telling you all of this because it's so vital that you really get it. You really get what hard work is. It's so much more than you're thinking. So much more than you're thinking. So if you want to join a community of people that think like this, join the Killer Instinct community. I think we're up to like 24 people, 25 people in the community. I'm putting the Killer Instinct lessons up there. The links below for that. I'm also going to start a basketball brain community specifically for basketball. So you can come in there too. But I think you should join both. Killer Instinct is for like everything, your life, getting your body right. Like it's if you're going to do business someday, listen, you're not going to play basketball forever. Come to the Killer Instinct side so you can start to prepare for life and kill life. And then basketball brain will have just basketball stuff there. I'm going to start that probably this coming weekend, maybe even sooner. All right, guys, this is Dylan. Please like this. Share this with somebody who needs to hear it. Maybe share it with yourself. Send it to yourself and watch it again. And, subscribe. And if you have any questions, reach out. Peace.